and welcome back to In My Hometown with Jamie Stein, where we get into the business of our neighbors.
Our neighbor today is Pascal. He is the owner of Pascal Pour Elle, a salon in Glencoe. He is also the front runner of the first season of the Golden Bachelorette. Welcome to In My Hometown, Pascal.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you guys, and I'm like, this is my hometown as well.
Exactly. I was thinking about it, and I have been in Glencoe for almost 20 years, and I've been going to your salon for pretty much about that time. My daughters go there, my husband goes there. It's a family affair. So shout out to...
Thank you.
You have such an amazing staff. Shout out to Amanda, Laura, Tony, Lisa. These are,
Wow.
You just have such great people there, and it's just what a wonderful place.
You know, I think it's the energy we are, working together as a team. There is no competition between us, and I think I try to make it as a happy place where people come up and have a good time, and it's working. Obviously, I've been here for about 25 years now.
Yeah,
So
I think it's working.
It's working. I think it's
Kidding,
working.
of course it is. No, it's so great. So
Yeah.
tell me, what are the beginnings of it? Tell me, go back and tell me how you started that.
So I came up into this country when I was 22 years old. I didn't speak a word of English. I had $1 in my pocket, and I had an offer to work in a salon downtown, in the salon named Charles Ifergan,
Okay, yeah.
where I did my apprenticeship with him. And then, so I'm going to move the story much farther because it's a long story, but him and I decided to become partners, and then we opened a salon in Deerfield.
Mm-hmm.
And my vision had a little bit of different challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was time for me to go on my own. So I decided to open my first salon in Winnetka.
Mm-hmm.
So I mortgaged my home. I borrowed money from my brothers. I borrowed money from the bank, and I said, let's go for it. And then I opened my first salon in Winnetka, who become extremely successful. Then from there, I opened a salon downtown on Well Street at 507 Norwell. We did very well. And then after that, I opened another salon in Glenview in the 1992 Tower Drive in the Glentown Center. And then after that, I opened another one in Bucktown on
Okay.
Demon and Cortland. And about a few years ago, I decided, and I got enough. I wanted my younger daughter to be involved into the business.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, she keeps saying yes, and she never did. And I realized that I'm at the point in my life right now where I want to enjoy, I want to travel, my children are gone. So that's basically a little bit the story of abbreviation of where I come from to where I am today.
Yeah.
Meet Aveline, clean, delicious wine made with organic grapes and nothing you don't want. No added sugar, no unnecessary ingredients, just beautifully crafted wine for any occasion. Pour a glass and feel good about it.
Were you meant to be in this industry? So, take me. I know you encapsulated that very well, your history. But what did you always want to be in this?
Yes,
in
I
this
think
industry?
I'm originally born in Morocco, Casablanca.
Okay.
My parents are immigrants from Morocco to France.
Okay.
As you know, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia was a French colonized. In 1960, Morocco became independent, and as a Jew, my parents didn't want to live in Morocco, so we had two choices: one to go to Israel, or one to go to Paris. All my family, all my father's side went to Israel. My mother said, I'm not going to Israel, I'm going to Paris with my sister. So I was raised in Paris in a very modest blue-collar family.
Yeah.
I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters with 8 siblings. And you could imagine being an immigrant in France with 8 children. So we were living in subsidized houses. We never had the luxury. When you think of Paris, you think of the beauty. Oh my God, you're from Paris.
Right,
you're from Paris.
right. Eiffel Tower,
no,
lights.
we were living in a Paris you wouldn't visit.
Okay.
The other side
The
of
Les
Paris.
Miserables.
Exactly.
Probably, yeah.
You wouldn't live there. So I went to school, and I wasn't a good student at the time. ADD, ADHD wasn't detected. I couldn't concentrate. And in France, is what they call a professional orientation. Mean then, if you're not good in your study, we're going to find you a manual job like plumber,
Yes.
mechanic, electrician, a carpenter. And I choose the field of hair industry. So I went into the hair business, and that's how I become a hairdresser.
Got it,
So
yeah.
that's a little bit and I had an opportunity to work in a salon in Paris, and I had the opportunity to come up to Chicago. That's how.
Yeah, and the rest, as they
The
say, is
rest,
history.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Over 20, 25, almost 30 years for the salon. What do you think is the key to the longevity of Pascal Pour Elle?
I think the longevity is teamwork. It's to be able to understand your team and talk to the maintenance man, the guy who sweep the floor, to the highest colorist the same way.
Right.
You have to give respect to those people. Number one. Number two, you have to pay them well. Okay, that's very
Yeah.
important. You want them to make a good living. And then it's a teamwork. Every 3 weeks, what I do is I buy lunch to the whole staff, not because I want to buy lunch, it's
Right.
because I give them a camaraderie. They all go outside, they all have lunch and they mingle. When you build a team, it's like a football team. If the quarterback doesn't read his receiver, he's never going to make a touchdown.
Right.
So I'm able to read my team and understand what their needs are and provide them the best possible environment for them to work and be happy to be here.
Yeah, and because at the end of the day, it's a business of people.
Yes,
And the
yes.
culture is important. You've had people there for so long. A
Yes.
lot of people have stayed with you for a very long
Yes,
time.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's amazing. I love too this idea that in preparing for you to come on my podcast, I was looking around and looking at articles, and I came upon two interesting tidbits, which I thought were interesting. One is that hairdressing or hair professionals is in the top 5 most trusted profession.
Yes.
And that there was a poll a while back that almost 50% of hair professionals feel like their clients sort of see them as their therapist. I was wondering what you think of that.
It's what everybody think. Okay, I mean, I've been in the industry my whole life for about 45 years, and
Yeah.
I've dealt with thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. We built a friendship. Okay, we get to know each other.
Yeah.
We talk about restaurant, we talk about play, we talk about vacation, but we don't. I try to stay away from the intimacy of my client, what's happening with their marriage and divorce. Actually, what is very interesting, about 2 years ago, they come up with a new requirement for the beauty industry to take a class, a 4-hour class for detecting
Mental health issues.
Exactly.
I read
And
that too.
we took that classes, and I don't see over my years, I don't see clients come up to me and telling me, oh, you know what, I'm depressed, I'm getting divorced,
Yeah.
what should I do? It's a myth.
Yeah.
Okay, the client comes up into a salon to escape from that,
Yes.
and they want to talk about fun things, they want to talk about their hair, they want to feel good about themselves. And I think talking about them getting divorced or their husband or wife cheating on them, it's not really true.
Not really true.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I get into deep conversations about Real Housewives with Lara all the time, but
Yeah.
the TV show Real Housewives. But we love that. And you end up spending a lot of time in the chair. So I think you certainly have it's a relationship in a way, but as you're saying, maybe not so much what they're reporting. Talk to me a little bit about having a passion in such a creative space, but then making a business out of it, and what some of the challenges have been with that.
That's what I said to my children.
Yeah.
I said, follow a dream, don't follow the
Yeah.
money, okay? Because if you follow a dream and you do what you love to do, right there is success. Success doesn't scale of how much money you make. Success is happy to be where you at.
Yes.
Okay. When I went into the hair industry, I did it because that was a passion of mine. That was a love of mine. I never thought you could make the kind of money I'm making.
Yeah.
We all have a gift. Some of them are able to identify that gift during their growth, or their parents are able, I took my son and my daughter and all my children to tennis lesson, to martial art lesson, to music lesson, to try to have them a wide range of exposure to find out where they're good at, okay? And to me, I knew that I was good with that. I've learned quickly, I understand quickly, but again, I did it because I love it, not for the money. And if you do something you love, like I said, that's success right there.
Yes.
So that's the advice I give to my son that said, find a passion,
Yeah.
follow your passion, follow your dream, and don't measure that dream about the amount of money you make, but the happiness you're gonna have along your life. And I'm fortunate that I found the hair business, which make me very happy. I wake up every morning and I love to go to work.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I gotta get there again today. You know what I mean? Again today I come up and everybody said hello. I leave it. I'm in the feel good business.
Yeah.
People are happy to be with me.
Yes, definitely. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Laura's chair is next to yours, so
Yeah.
over the years, I know I've seen you smile and laugh a lot, and it's been great. What's maybe one memory or one moment that has stuck out over this career of yours, and just sort of really telling you I've made it, or this is the right thing, the right path for me?
You know, in every business there is peak and valleys. Okay.
Yeah.
In every business there is the low and the high, and we had a lot of high, but we had a lot of low. Okay, it hasn't been climbing the ladder straight up. It's failure at time, and it's how you deal with your failure that make you who you are as a businessman. Okay, it's not easy to keep climbing the ladder step and step and step. You have obstacles, you have people who are leaving you, you have an increase in product, you have an economy situation. 2008 was a tough year.
COVID.
COVID was a tough year. So there is a lot of obstacles. I think it's what give you character is when you said, hey, you're gonna make it. You have to believe in yourself, okay? And you have to exhaust confidence to your team, because if you show your team then you have your worries, they're gonna worry.
Yes.
But if you expose your team, then everything is good, I'm in control. They know that there is the captain of the ship sailing the ship in the right direction. You can't tell them then it goes right and left.
I love that. I just saw a show last night I was watching, and there was someone said, good sailors are not made by calm waters. And I love what you're talking about. I wish that my kids would know that too, that failure is part of life, or the down parts are also part of life. So that's great.
Yeah, there was George Clooney had an interview, and this interview he said, I never learned anything from my success, I've learned everything from my failure.
Right.
I agree and disagree. I've learned a lot from my failure, but I learned a lot from my success. How do you become successful? How do you stay successful? Okay, and reinventing yourself all the time. You can't just keep doing the same thing. You gotta, in my business, you gotta bring new product, new technique, new services from the keratin. I mean, I send people all over the country to go and study. There is a new hair treatment who's making the buzz right now. I want to be the first one to have it. So we order the product, we hire the person who come up and do the classes and teach us. So you can stack in doing the same thing over and over again. Like if you take Starbucks, what is the success of Starbucks? Because every time they reinvent new product and say, oh wow, I didn't see this one, see this one, see this one. And I take same thing with Hometown. He changed his menu, he brought more and more. Get rid of the sometime and bring, because I think people like changes. People like new thing, and if you go to a place and the menu is the same over and over again, you might go and have dinner there 2-3 times, but after that you're gonna say, it's enough, it's the same menu. I like changes. That's why a restaurant got special. So every week they have something. So I think that's what is important, being able to create, reinvent yourself as time change.
In My Hometown is brought to you by the place that brings us all together, Hometown Coffee and Juice. If you're jonesing for a delicious avocado toast, berry bowl, make your own salad, something sweet, Hometown has you covered. Hometown makes you feel welcome. Planning a milestone birthday, a corporate or fundraising event, or just celebrating something special? I know just the place. Uptown at Hometown Coffee and Juice. This cozy lounge-style private event space is the perfect spot for you. It's made for memorable moments. Book your next gathering today.
You've been famous in a sense here on the North Shore for a long time with your salon, and then this Golden Bachelorette has brought a new sense of fame, I'm sure. Bachelor Nation is huge. Tell me a little bit about how that came about and what that's been like.
I was in vacation every year in the holidays. I took all my children and go on vacation, going to Puerto Vallarta. We have a place over there, and my daughter were asking me questions, and I was wondering why she asking me what is my network, what do I like to eat,
Okay.
where do I like to shop, and do you have any new picture of you? And I didn't understand what she was asking me, and then. We come back to Chicago. I come back to Chicago. She live in Canada. She went back to Canada. And 3 weeks later, she came and said, Dad, I hope you're not going to be mad. And with my daughter, is always, what did you do? What did you do? She said, Dad, I signed you up for the Golden Bachelorette. I said, what is the Golden Bachelorette?
Right.
I mean, this is not the show I typically watch.
Right.
Okay? So she said, oh, you got to do it, Dad. They want you. I sent them the picture, blah, blah, blah. So I came back the next day to my salon. I talked to my personal assistant, Lisa, who's in charge of all my business. And I said, what do you think? Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. So I went home that night. Then I watched about a couple episodes of the Golden Bachelor.
Yes.
So I understand the concept.
Yes.
23 women, one guy, and then those 23 women is going to try to impress
Right.
that guy, and that
Right.
guy's going to pick up one. So I said, oh, that could be interesting.
Right.
But after looking at the cast, I said, I don't know if I like any of those women. It's not really, they're not really my type. But there is one who struck me, actually, two struck me, was Leslie and John. So after the whole process of a background investigation, medical record, and on and on and on,
Yes.
okay, I was selected to be one of the Bachelor. But I said I will not do it until I know who is the Bachelorette,
Okay.
because there is no need for me to go in there and pretend to try to fall in love with somebody I
Right.
have no interest. So I had those two women in mind, and so they keep calling me, hey, you're going to do it. I said, look, I need to know who it is. So finally, they called me to say, John. I said, okay, great, let go
Right.
for it. Let's see what happens. So that's how the beginning of the journey began.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this town was certainly a buzz when
Yes.
you were on it. We
Yeah.
were all glued to the TV set. So what I noticed most, or what struck me most, was the relationships that you had with the men, with the other men that were there. Was that instant? Was that real? Are you still talking to them?
Yeah, I mean, you put, first of all, we were 24 guys. The first night, we didn't see anyone from 4 days. We were locked in a room.
And you don't have your phones?
I don't have a phone. There is no internet, no
Right.
phone, no newspaper, no TV,
Right.
nothing. We were just like
Right,
here.
and it's like overnight too.
We in the mansion. We don't leave. We're not allowed to leave the mansion. Okay.
Okay.
So we there for about. First of all, we go into a hotel for 4 nights, and those 4 days they do what they call the promotion. They take
Okay.
a picture interview to
Yes.
promote who you are entering into the Bachelor. So we go there, the 20 guys go, 24 guys there. The first night she eliminated 4 of them, so we
Yes.
have 18 guys.
Okay.
And as the process every week 2 there was 14, week 3 there were 11, and on and on and on and on. So they all come up from all over the country,
Yeah.
different background, and when you put 24 people together, you look around and you say, okay, who is my peer?
Yeah.
I mean, I get along with everybody, but there is people I keep my distance.
Yes.
There is people I love to engage the conversation, and there's some people that no interest at all.
Right.
So it was interesting because we were all mature adults. We were all
Yes.
senior citizens. Okay.
Which is hard to believe,
So
but
senior citizens,
I
hard to
know.
believe. But actually, I was one of the oldest of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and.
which did not look. You do not look that way.
Thank
so
you.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the industry I am in.
Yes,
Keeping young,
right.
you know.
Keeping young.
So then you start feeling a little bit the people, and then you start getting
Yeah.
along with some of them, and you start, when you don't have a phone and TVs and newspaper,
Right.
the only thing you have is to engage conversation. Hey, where are you from? What do you do? What is your challenge? And you start opening up a little bit about your divorce, what happened when your wife passed away, what happened with your relationship, what's going on with your kid. And I think, to me, the best part of that journey was being able to get away from all the social media, all the phone, all the TV, all the news, because you were able to engage conversation. And it reminded me when I was young, when I used to go out for dinner with a friend of mine, we talk. Today, they all are on their phone. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
So it took you back to sort of
exactly.
a time of past. I loved it. I mean, I think they could have done more of the show of just the guys, of just the men and the camaraderie and the conversations you're having. I remember watching one episode where someone was cooking, and it just seemed very natural. And I thought that was an evolution for the show, if you will, because I watched The Bachelor over years, and to be able to see sort of those relationships and that dynamic, in addition, of course, to the finding love journey. But that was sort of interesting. So you made it. So I don't want to say made it, but you went all the way to the hometown visits, is what they call the sort of finalists, right? The final 3 or 4. And you came here to Glencoe, and you went to the Salon.
Yes.
And you also came to Hometown, where we're recording our podcast today. Thank you to to Lou and Julie for letting us, and Emily for letting us record up here in this gorgeous private space. But what made you want to film in Hometown Coffee and Juice?
When I went to The Bachelor and I met all those guys, and then she gave the first impression road to Keith, which is a wonderful guy, I love. But Keith is a 6'5", 300-pound, half bald, and I look at him and say, wow, if she pick up that guy, I'm out. I'm completely the opposite of Keith, because I'm a little bit more refined. I've traveled to many countries. I'm from Europe, so when she picked up Keith, I said, oh, I'm out. So I've never really fought my way in, and I think you could see in one episode she asked me, do you want to be here? I said, yeah. She said, but you're always in the back. And I say, yes, I'm in the back because I can't shovel myself in front of those big guys. I know that I'm gonna have my 15 minutes with you, and that's where I'm gonna impress you with who I am as a person.
Right.
Okay. She said, okay. And then, so went farther, and then we end up going to the hometown. And Lou and I had a pact, which I love Lou and I love Julie, they're like family to me. And Lou knew that I was going to The Bachelor, the Bachelorette, and he said to me, if you do hometown, I want you to do hometown. I want you to come home. So in my mind was, I gotta go home. I gotta go to hometown. So I promised Lou, and I didn't think I was gonna go that far, to be honest with you. And then we came to hometown, and I was able to have a coffee here, and then I went to my salon. I showed her my salon. Then we went to my home and meet my children. It was an interesting experience.
Yeah, really, really great. I mean, I think we were all rooting for you, and just for you to do what worked for you. You could tell that you were very authentic and genuine with it. How has it changed you or the salon, or sort of what's been the aftermath of this Golden Bachelorette experience?
I have a very successful salon, so it brought me a little bit of national attention. When I go out, people say, oh, we love you. Oh, you look much taller than you look in TV. You better looking than on TV. You should be the next Golden Bachelor. So everywhere I go, there is always people who recognize me.
You should be the next Golden Bachelor.
Obviously, they didn't pick me up.
There's always more time.
You never know. But a lot of people came to my salon just because of the show. I think it's dying down a little bit now, but it's nice to go somewhere and having dinner, and a woman can say, oh my God, can I take a picture with you? It's a good ego booth, you know, I mean, it's kind of fun, you know, and it's good, but it's fading away. I had I think my 15 minutes of fame, and then now that's the new guy who's coming up, and that's up to him too, and see where the future will lead us.
I'm going to, we have a little bit of time left. I'm going to ask you a couple rapid fire questions. Okay, what else do I have here? Okay, who's your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration, I would say, is probably Warren Buffett.
Okay, yes.
You know, I just think I like the way the man has able to build an empire and live a very simple life. I think his vision about the economy and the privacy of his life being one of the wealthiest men in the world. I have a lot of respect. He's no drama. He's focusing on business and helping people. So I think to me, he's definitely one man I look upon.
Good, I love that. Okay, what's the advice that you'd give to younger Pascal?
Oh my God, what advice? You know what? To be honest with you, I mean, I love the way my life went. I love the success and failure. I wouldn't change anything. I like the way my life went.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I was working maybe a little bit harder on my marriage, which, you know, I'm divorced.
Yeah.
I learned then it's not always about me, and I have to learn how to share and be more vulnerable, be more open about who I am, what is make me me,
Yeah.
and that's the things I would have the advice.
Okay, that's good. Do you have a mantra or words that you live by?
What do you mean mantra?
So just a saying, like I'm trying to think of what mine.
Live and let live.
Yes, sure. Or
Uh,
perfect is the enemy of good. That's sort of mine.
Yeah,
I
I say stick with the program, you know.
Okay, oh, I like that.
Stick with the
Okay,
program, you know.
keep
just
moving,
keep
keep
moving,
moving,
stick
yeah.
with the program, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I like
yeah.
that. I like that. So I know you weren't watching The Bachelor before you were on the Golden Bachelorette, but do you have a TV show that you watch regularly?
You know what? I'm the news kind of guy.
Okay.
I'm more like you know, MSNBC stock
Okay.
market news.
Okay.
I really don't watch much of those shows. Actually, now since I've been in The Bachelor, which I was asked to be in the Golden Bachelor in Paradise, which I declined.
I
I
noticed.
just felt that wasn't for me because
Okay.
you know, I just didn't have any interest on the cast.
Yes.
Okay,
Avery,
I mean-
I'm sorry, I got interrupted because Avery I didn't tell you, was more excited than me about you coming on. She watched you and she was like, "What? We're gonna have Pascal on?" She's my production intern. She's amazing. But so she just perked up when you talked about Bachelor in Paradise. So you decided not to do it. I actually think that was
Yeah,
probably.
they asked me as soon as they asked me. I said, interesting, what is about, we don't know yet, but we definitely want you. So I knew a producer from a different network, and I asked her, I said, look, I said, I'm offered Bachelor in Paradise, and absolutely not.
Mhm.
You brand, who you are as a person,
Yes.
wouldn't fit that show.
Yeah.
So it's up to you, but I don't think you should be doing it. And I put a lot of thought into it, so I went home, and I started watching 2 or 3 of those episodes, and I realized that it's not for me, you
Yeah.
know, and not for me, not only not for me, but the woman, the cast of the Golden Bachelor, besides John and Leslie, had no interest, so I didn't want to go there and
Right.
pretend. If they would have come up to me and said, you know, we want you in the Golden in Paradise to be advisor,
Yeah.
to be an advisor to the young generation. Let's say that your daughter is in the show and she's encountered a problem with John, but she
Yes.
doesn't know if she want to pick up Philip or she's mixed up with Greg. And I would love her to come to me and explain to me what she like in John, Greg, and Philip, and me being able to be an advisor
Yeah.
and said what you like, what is the red flag. I think that would have been a more interesting show than trying to find love with
Yes.
those women. So when I went back to them and I asked them, I said, what it is? He said, oh, maybe a second chance of love. I said, I'm not interested in that. I want to be more like an advisor to the young kid. Because of the life we live, the experience we have, we could give her advice about what to do and how to handle a situation.
Right, which is maybe not put your phone down for a couple minutes.
Exactly, and then
In general.
and then listen, and then
And meet people in
meet
person.
people, and then you know,
Right.
don't start kissing everybody. You
Right.
know, I mean.
I've watched a little bit of The Bachelor in Paradise, and I think you made the right choice potentially for you.
Yeah.
But I would say hopefully the producers are listening, because your idea of this sort of counselor advisor maybe that's where they take that, and maybe they end up doing
And then
that.
also what I said is when you do the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, when you're that age, young, 20, 25, 28, you know, the beginning of your life, you don't have a mortgage, you probably rent, you're in between jobs, you don't have a car. So if I meet you live in San Francisco and I live in Chicago, and I'm going into the show and we are in the same lifestyle, it's easy to pack my little bag
Yes.
and move to San Francisco, or pack yours and move to Chicago.
Yes.
I think that makes more sense. But when you are in our age, when you have your business, your real estate, your investment, it's very hard in my age to pack my stuff and say, hey, I'm gonna move in San Francisco. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
So I was offering to the Bachelor, the producer, I said, why don't you do it locally?
Right.
Why don't you do the Bachelor, the Golden Bachelor of Chicago, the Golden Bachelor
Right.
of New York, like they're doing with the Housewife.
Yes.
The Housewife of New Jersey, the Housewife of New York, the Housewife
Yeah.
of California. I think that would have made more sense, because I know that in all those guys, all those men who were there, they were all looking for a relationship. They want a relationship. They're desperate for a relationship. But if they meet John and Chuck, John live in Wichita,
Right.
Chuck live in Maryland. Okay, I mean, how often do they see, particularly in our age, we want to be 24/7 with that person. We don't have,
Right.
the best is behind,
Right. You're onto something there, because the Golden Bachelor and Golden Bachelorette should be a little bit different than the Bachelor and the Bachelorette, because you are later in life, you have more roots set and things like that. I think you're onto something. Hopefully they'll take your ideas,
I mean,
Pascal.
I think to me, having it, the Golden Bachelor of Chicago,
Yeah.
you got Chicago and the surrounding is 13 million people.
Yes.
You tell me you can find a 25 divorcee widows or single women?
Right,
It's
here.
easy. And at least you know that if she lives an hour and a half, 2 hours away from you, you know that you're going to spend every weekend together. You're going to spend a week,
Right.
but being in Maryland and being in Wichita, you get to pop in a plane. That's a whole day affair. And not only that, but I'm financially secure, but some of them don't have the finance to be able to do that
Yeah.
traveling. So
Yeah.
I
love
think
it.
that's the challenge of the show.
Yeah, I love that. I also am very into the local idea, as my podcast is local.
Local, yeah,
So
hometown.
I'm all for it. So let me know what happens there. So what's next for Pascal? What's next for you?
What's next? Keep doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'm enjoying life.
Yeah.
I get a very big social life. I go out a lot I have a wide range of friends. And then, I'm single by choice, not because I can't find anybody. But I think at the stage of my life, I want to make sure that if I'm involved in a relationship, I want it to be a last relationship. I've seen the red flags in the past. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, I know the mistake I've made, I know the success I have, and I want to make sure that the next partner is a long life partner. I don't want to keep going from relationship to relationship to relationship. It's got to be the whole package of, I'm happy to be alone.
Yeah. Well, I wish for that. I wish that for you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say thank you. I have loved this conversation and loved having you on.
Thank you very much. I'm
Thank you
very
so
grateful
much.
that you invited me, and
Thank you.
I wish you much luck with your new
Thank
podcast.
you.
And thanks for Hometown and Lou and
Great.
to help us. And thank you.